Do you feel like you're always working hard but never seem to get where you want financially? It feels like money is never enough, and the idea of getting rich seems distant, almost impossible, right? But what if I told you that you only need 6 months to start changing that completely? Warren Buffett, the world's greatest investor, not only proved that it's possible but also developed clear and simple strategies that anyone can apply. In this video, I'll show you how you can use these same strategies to break free from the cycle of worrying about money and start building the wealth you've always dreamed of. If you're tired of watching time pass while nothing changes, now is the moment. The solution is closer than you think. Stay with me, because today could be the day you look back and realize it was the turning point in your journey. So let's dive into the first lesson. But before we do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because the upcoming videos will be part of a series filled with content designed to help you improve your financial life. Imagine you have a magical bubble that protects everything that truly matters in your life. Your home, your favorite food, and even the people you love. Now think, what truly needs to be inside that bubble for you to be happy? Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world, shows that often, less is more. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1957 for just $25,000. Despite having enough money to buy mansions across the globe, he prefers to live simply, without extravagant luxuries. Why? Because he discovered that happiness doesn't come from expensive things but from choosing what holds real value for you. Think about it. It's like having a piggy bank. If you only put coins in it, it will eventually fill up and can be used for something big, like a dream. But if you spend your coins on stickers or new toys every week, the piggy bank will never fill, and the big dream will drift further away. Warren understands that every coin, or rather every dollar, is important. So, what can you learn from this? That you don't need everything the world offers to be happy. Choose only what truly makes sense for you. And most importantly, remember, the less you spend on unnecessary things today, the more resources you'll have to achieve big dreams in the future. Warren has proven that simplicity is one of the secrets to true wealth. Imagine you have a superpower. This superpower doesn't give you wings or make you invisible, but it can transform your life in incredible ways. This power is knowledge, and the key to unlocking it lies in reading. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, uses this power every day. He spends 5 to 6 hours a day reading about business, markets, and new ideas. For him, reading is like building a mountain of wisdom. Each book is a stone that makes him taller and more prepared. Now think of a video game. Every time you read a book, it's like gaining a new skill in the game of life. You can learn how to make money grow, solve problems, or even avoid financial pitfalls. Warren started small, reading an almanac his aunt gave him. Today, he knows so much because he never stopped learning. But don't worry, you don't have to read for hours every day like him. The secret is to start. How about swapping 10 minutes of scrolling on your phone for reading something that interests you? It could be an article, a book, or even a comic that teaches you something new. Warren reminds us that knowledge is something no one can take away from you. So, every time you read, you become stronger and closer to achieving your dreams. Reading is the most accessible superpower in the world, and it's waiting for you. Why not use it today? Making money isn't just about being smart or having lots of ideas. In fact, one of the biggest secrets to building wealth lies in patience and choosing the right moment. Warren Buffett explains that you don't need to be a genius to invest or achieve financial success. What truly makes a difference is knowing how to wait for the perfect opportunity. Imagine you're playing a basketball game. It's not always the best idea to shoot the ball as soon as you catch it. Sometimes, it's better to wait until you have the right angle to make the shot. In the world of finance, it works the same way. Investing in something just because it seems good at the moment, without careful evaluation, can be a mistake. It's like throwing the ball without aiming. The chance of missing is high. Buffett emphasizes the importance of studying your options, understanding the market, and, most importantly, knowing the right time to act. Many people fail because they rush to make quick money and end up making impulsive choices. He teaches that patience is one of the greatest virtues on the path to wealth. If you want to build a solid financial future, learn to observe and wait. Don't rush to spend or invest without planning. The key is to identify the right opportunities and be prepared to seize them when they appear. Remember, acting at the right moment can be the factor that transforms your financial life. Have you ever stopped to think about how you're spending your money? Warren Buffett teaches that controlling expenses is one of the fundamental pillars for anyone who wants to get rich. The secret isn't about earning a lot, but about knowing how to use what you already earn effectively. He recommends a simple yet powerful exercise. When considering buying something, ask yourself how many hours of work that item represents. Here's how it works. If you earn $5,000 per month and work 160 hours, each hour of work is worth about $31. Now, imagine you want to buy something that costs $1,000. That represents roughly 32 hours of work, or nearly 4 full days. Now ask yourself, is it worth exchanging so many days of effort for that item? This simple reflection can completely change how you make financial decisions. Buffett also emphasizes the importance of planning your income and expenses. He states that no matter how much you earn, if you don't know where and how you're spending it, the money will disappear, and you won't even know where it went. A clear budget helps identify waste and prioritize what truly matters. Controlling your expenses doesn't mean giving up everything or living without enjoyment. The goal is to use your money wisely, prioritizing what adds value to your life. This habit creates a positive cycle. The more you save, the more resources you'll have to invest and build the wealth you desire. Start small, but start today. Are you someone who has control over your spending? Do you know anyone who's really skilled at this? Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll help you out. Imagine you have a magical seed. If you just keep that seed in a jar, it will never grow. But if you plant it in the right place and take care of it, it can grow into a tree full of fruits. Money works the same way. If it just sits idle, it loses value due to inflation. For it to grow, you need to plant it in the right place. In other words, invest it. Warren Buffett explains that keeping money under your mattress or in a non-interest-bearing account is like forgetting the seed in the jar. To start, a simple option is a savings account with interest rates that beat inflation. But he warns, that's just the beginning. True growth happens when we learn how to invest. Buffett started investing at a young age, buying stocks and studying how the market worked. He suggests that anyone can learn this, even without much money. How about swapping a few minutes of social media scrolling for reading or watching videos about investments? You don't need to be an expert to start. The important thing is to understand that every dollar you invest can grow into many if you have patience and strategy. Think of your money as an army of little magical seeds. Each one has the potential to grow and produce more fruits. It's up to you to plant them and take care of them. Start small, but start now. The sooner you plant, the faster your financial tree will begin to bear fruit. And who knows? One day, you might even have a real financial forest. Imagine you're like a video game. Every skill you develop is like a level that unlocks new achievements and makes you stronger. Warren Buffett believes that the best investment anyone can make is in themselves. Why? Because no one can take away the knowledge or skills you've developed. Buffett started his financial journey at a very young age, reading books and learning everything he could about investing. He always says that a good education, formal or self-taught, can transform your life. Learning new skills, improving what you already know, and even exploring different areas are ways to increase your value in the market of life. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine two people. The first spends all their free time watching videos that add no value. The second decides to use part of that time to learn about finance, marketing, or skills that can help in their career. After a year, which one do you think will have better chances of increasing their income? Investing in yourself isn't just about expensive courses. It can be reading a book, watching free tutorials, or even talking to experienced people. Each new piece of knowledge is like a brick that builds your future. The best part? This investment is never lost, even if you change careers or face challenges. So, ask yourself, what can I do today to become a better version of myself? The answer might just be the first step toward your next level. Debt can seem like an easy solution in times of need, but it often becomes a financial trap that delays your journey toward financial freedom. Warren Buffett warns that uncontrolled use of credit cards and loans is one of the biggest mistakes people make. This happens because, in addition to spending more than they have, they end up paying exorbitant interest rates that can outweigh any initial benefits that may seem attractive. The first step to avoiding these traps is simple. Control your expenses. Plan your finances and spend only what you can truly afford. If you already have debts, make a detailed list of everything you owe, including interest rates and payment terms. Organize this information and prioritize paying off the most expensive debts first, such as credit card balances. Buffett also teaches that it's crucial to avoid debt for financing luxury items or non-essential things. This includes avoiding installment plans with interest or impulsive purchases you know you won't be able to pay off easily. Instead, he suggests saving and paying in cash whenever possible. Living debt-free or significantly reducing your reliance on debt is not only a financial relief but also a mental one. When you're not worried about bills or growing interest, you can focus on what truly matters, building your wealth in a solid and sustainable way. The advice is clear: avoid debt whenever possible, and if you already have it, eliminate it as quickly as you can. Warren Buffett teaches us that to achieve financial freedom, it's essential to learn to differentiate what you want from what you truly need. Many expenses on luxuries, such as frequent dinners at restaurants, expensive clothes, or parties, may seem harmless at the moment but, over time, consume a significant portion of your money. Money that could be working for you through investments. Buffett states that it's possible to live a fulfilling life without giving up simple pleasures, but excess can be harmful. For example, regularly dining at expensive restaurants or buying the latest gadgets you don't need are habits that drain your finances. He suggests reassessing your expenses and cutting out anything that doesn't add real value to your life. The key is finding balance. Instead of dining out every week, try cooking at home. Instead of buying designer clothes, look for quality options at more affordable prices. Small adjustments like these can free up significant resources for savings or investments. Remember, giving up unnecessary luxuries doesn't mean you'll never enjoy them. The idea is to limit these expenses while building your financial foundation. Once your situation is more stable, it'll be easier to enjoy these things consciously and without jeopardizing your future. Prioritize what truly matters and use your money strategically. Each cut in unnecessary expenses is another step toward your financial freedom. Have you ever stopped to analyze how many subscription services you pay for monthly? Warren Buffett warns us that subscriptions that seem small and harmless can often become major budget villains. Whether it's a gym you rarely attend, a streaming service you barely use, or a music app set to auto-renew, all these small amounts can add up to a significant expense over time. The problem isn't just the money spent, but also the fact that many people forget to cancel these services. Many companies offer free trial periods that turn into automatic charges if you don't cancel them in time. This kind of oversight is common and can impact your finances without you even realizing it. Buffett suggests regularly reviewing your subscriptions. Make a list of all the services you pay for monthly and evaluate which ones you truly use and are essential. For those you don't use frequently, cancel them immediately. Additionally, adopt the habit of disabling automatic renewals whenever possible. If you choose to keep a subscription, set a reminder on your phone to reassess its usefulness before the next renewal. This small adjustment in how you handle your subscriptions might seem insignificant, but over time, it represents important savings that can be directed toward bigger goals, like investing or paying off debts. Remember, every expense must be justified and aligned with your vision of financial freedom. Don't let automatic charges derail you from your path. Imagine you're at an amusement park and see a machine promising incredible prizes. Money, expensive toys, or even trips. You put in a coin but win nothing. You try again and again, thinking that, with luck, the next spin will be the winner. In the end, you realize you've spent all your money and won nothing. That's the danger of gambling and impulsive decisions. Warren Buffett teaches that betting your money on uncertain things, like lotteries or casinos, is like throwing your savings into the wind. The problem isn't just the immediate loss, but also the habit of seeking shortcuts to get rich. He asserts that building wealth requires patience and calculated decisions, not relying on luck. Let's consider a real-life example. Joao wanted to change his life and decided to play the lottery every week. He spent part of his salary believing that one day he would get rich, but he never won anything. Meanwhile, his friend Anna, instead of gambling, started saving the same amount monthly and investing it in a simple fund. After a few years, Anna had enough money to fulfill her dreams, while Joao was still waiting for luck. Buffett's message is clear. Avoid dangerous shortcuts like gambling or risky investments that promise quick returns. Instead, focus on solid strategies that value hard work, planning, and gradual growth. It's smarter to build your wealth step by step, knowing each move takes you in the right direction, than to gamble it all on an uncertain chance. Be like Anna and choose a safe path to financial freedom. Have you ever heard the saying, "It's the small leak that sinks a great ship"? Warren Buffett believes that small daily expenses can be that very leak in your finances. A coffee here, a snack there, forgotten subscriptions, or missed discounts. All of these may seem insignificant at the moment, but over time, they make a huge difference to your wallet. Buffett shares a personal example to illustrate this lesson. On a trip to China, he and Bill Gates decided to visit a local McDonald's. Despite being a billionaire, Buffett paid part of the bill using discount coupons he had brought from home. This gesture, which might seem unusual, reflects his philosophy. No matter how much you have, always pay attention to small financial details. Now think about your routine. How often do you spend money without realizing it? Whether it's that delivery order that could have been replaced with a homemade meal or an unnecessary item bought on impulse, these small expenses consume resources that could be used for bigger goals. The solution: start tracking your daily expenses. Use an app or write down everything you spend. Over time, you'll notice where you're overspending and can cut those expenses. Buffett teaches us that wealth isn't just about big financial decisions, but also about how you handle the details. By controlling small expenses, you create a stronger foundation to build a prosperous future. Don't underestimate the power of daily savings. They can be the fuel for your biggest dreams. Building wealth is not an immediate process. Warren Buffett teaches that patience is one of the most important virtues on the path to financial success. He explains that many people make the mistake of seeking quick results but forget that investments and financial growth require time, discipline, and consistency. Buffett often compares the process of investing to planting a tree. You don't see instant results, but with time and proper care, the tree grows and bears fruit. He emphasizes that trying to rush this process often leads to impulsive decisions and losses. Hasty or poorly researched investments can cause setbacks, while well-planned, long-term investments tend to yield significant returns. He also reinforces that when thinking about finances, it's important to take a long-term view. Many people focus solely on the present, spending what they have without preparing for the future. Planning for retirement, children's education, or other important goals requires thinking in decades, not months. Buffett sums up this idea with an analogy. You can't have a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. Some things take the necessary time, and in the world of investments, it's no different. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the fruits of your work and planning. Therefore, avoid haste and invest with patience. Time is your most valuable ally for accumulating wealth and achieving your financial goals. Warren Buffett believes that excess material possessions can be a burden, both financially and emotionally. He teaches that many people strive to accumulate objects that, in reality, end up taking up space and draining resources that could be used more wisely. Instead of bringing happiness, excess can create worries and compromise financial freedom. Buffett illustrates this with his own life. Despite being a billionaire, he never felt the need to own multiple houses, luxury cars, or extravagant collections. He explains that some possessions are useful and bring comfort, but when accumulated without care, they can start to own the owner. That's why he chooses to live simply, focusing on what truly matters. This concept can be applied by anyone. Analyze your possessions. How many things do you own that you actually use or that add value to your life? Keeping unnecessary items means tied-up money, maintenance costs, or even wasted space in your home. This can be redirected into savings or resources to invest in what truly matters. Simplifying doesn't mean giving up comfort or quality of life, but rather prioritizing what's essential. By reducing excess and focusing on what's important, you create more space, time, and energy for what truly brings happiness and moves you closer to your financial goals. The lesson is clear. Less is more, both in your life and in your finances. Imagine a young man named Carlos who dreamed of working at his ideal company. He had the necessary knowledge but lacked courage. One day, inspired by a story he heard, Carlos decided to take a risk. He knocked on the company's door, asked to speak to the manager, and presented his ideas. To his surprise, he was heard and ended up getting hired. This story reflects what Warren Buffett experienced in his youth. When he was under 20 years old, Buffett decided to take a train to Washington, D.C., to visit Benjamin Graham, a renowned investor he admired. Without prior notice, he knocked on Graham's office door and confidently introduced himself. That meeting changed his life. Graham became his mentor, and years later, Buffett bought the company Graham had founded. The lesson here is clear. Boldness opens doors. Many times, opportunities don't come to you, you have to go after them. Whether it's finding a mentor, forming a partnership, or securing a job, taking the first step can be intimidating, but the results can be transformative. Buffett teaches that there are no guarantees in the financial world, but the courage to act can make all the difference. Like Carlos and Buffett, you too can create your own luck. Identify what you want, prepare yourself, and take the first step. Even if things don't work out as expected initially, the experience gained will be valuable and could take you to places you never imagined. Dare to pursue what you desire and see how the world can respond in surprising ways. Warren Buffett teaches us that financial success sometimes requires making decisions that may be uncomfortable in the present but are essential for the future. He shares that early in his career, he had to shut down the textile mills that were Berkshire Hathaway's primary market. This decision was difficult because it meant leaving behind a sector that was no longer profitable. However, this choice allowed the company to invest in more promising areas, paving the way for its extraordinary growth. This lesson applies to anyone looking to improve their financial life. Consider, for instance, cutting expenses you enjoy but that don't add real value. It could mean reducing expensive trips, giving up a luxury car, or even moving to a simpler home. These changes might be tough, but they're necessary to free up resources that can be invested in larger goals. Difficult decisions also involve saying no to opportunities that don't align with your objectives. Many people get lost trying to do everything at once, compromising their progress. Buffett consistently emphasizes that success comes from the ability to focus on what truly matters, even if it means leaving good things behind. Just as Buffett had to leave the textile mills behind, evaluate your financial life and identify what's holding back your growth. It could be an unnecessary expense, a bad financial habit, or even an underperforming investment. Make tough decisions today to build a solid foundation and achieve a more prosperous financial future. Growth always requires sacrifices, but the results make it all worthwhile. Warren Buffett emphasizes that planning is one of the most powerful tools for achieving financial success. He believes that dedicating time to organizing your priorities, both personal and financial, can completely transform the results you achieve. Many people fail not because they lack resources or opportunities, but because they don't know how to direct their efforts. The first step is to develop the habit of planning your tasks and finances daily. Before going to bed, Buffett recommends making a list of the most important things you need to accomplish the next day. This helps you start the day with a clear purpose and avoids distractions. The same principle should be applied to your finances. Set aside time to review your expenses, identify waste, and plan how to invest or save. Additionally, it's essential to regularly review your progress. Analyze what you've done, what has worked, and what can be improved. This allows you to adjust your strategies and stay focused on your long-term goals. Planning also means thinking about contingencies, such as creating an emergency fund to handle unforeseen events and ensure that your financial goals aren't compromised. Buffett stresses that planning is an ongoing practice, not something you do once and forget. The more you organize your routine and finances, the more efficient and productive you become. Remember, a well-structured plan not only increases your chances of success but also reduces stress, giving you more control over your life. Well, we're heading into the final lesson, but before we do, I noticed you haven't liked this video yet. It's very important to help YouTube continue sharing our content so we can keep helping as many people as possible. So, go ahead and like this video, it's free. Warren Buffett has a simple yet extremely powerful rule. Rule number 1. Never lose money. Rule number 2. Never forget rule number 1. Although it seems obvious, this lesson is often overlooked by those who make financial decisions carelessly. Losing money can happen due to impulsive choices, lack of planning, or taking unnecessary risks. Buffett teaches that before investing or spending, it's essential to fully understand what's involved. This includes knowing the risks, calculating costs, and being clear about potential returns. He emphasizes that you should never risk what you need for something you want. This principle applies to both large investments and smaller decisions, such as everyday expenses that strain your budget. Avoiding loss also means being prepared for unexpected situations. An emergency fund is crucial to ensure you don't need to rely on loans or hasty asset sales during difficult times. Additionally, Buffett advises maintaining financial discipline. Control your expenses, avoid high-cost debts, and resist the temptation to make impulsive or poorly planned purchases. Another important point is diversification. Placing all your resources into a single option can be risky. Spread your investments across different areas to minimize potential losses. By following this approach, you reduce the chances of losing money and increase your financial security. Protecting your finances is one of the most important steps in building wealth. It's not just about earning more, but also about preserving what you already have. Remember, the money you don't lose is just as valuable as the money you earn. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped to think that, often, what's holding you back financially isn't how much you earn, but those small mistakes you don't even realize you're making? That's right, these financial mistakes are like invisible potholes on your path. You don't see them, but you're tripping over them and staying stuck in the same place. Now that you know this, you have two choices. Keep ignoring those potholes or start filling them in today. I know change isn't easy, but remember everything we've talked about here? Small adjustments can make a huge difference. You don't need to rush, but you also can't afford to stand still. Look at your finances more carefully, reflect on your habits, and take control of the situation. You have the power to change your story. All it takes is that first step. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you can keep receiving more valuable content. See you in the next video.